Today is April 30th. Tomorrow afternoon at exactly 1:23 p.m. Eastern Time, 17:23 Universal, the moon will sit at 12 degrees of Scorpio, and the sun from across the sky will be staring directly back at her from 12 degrees of Taurus. A full moon, a perfect opposition, the sharpest Taurus Scorpio polarity of the entire year. The last time this exact axis lit up the sky like this, same degree, same opposition, same Pluto pressure underneath, was the first week of May in 2007. Most people don't remember why that month mattered. I'll tell you. On May 17th of that year, the chairman of the Federal Reserve stood up in front of a microphone and assured the country that mortgage defaults would not seriously harm the U.S. economy. 3 months later, the truth he was concealing began to break the world. The cosmos already knew. The Scorpio moon was already lit. I've been watching this for 40 years, and I can tell you with complete conviction, this is not an ordinary full moon. I'm Luna Solano. 40 years of reading charts, 40 years of watching cycles announce, deliver, and seal transformations in the lives of real people. And what I want to do tonight, before this moon goes exact tomorrow, is sit with you, not lecture you, sit with you. The way an old friend sits with you on a porch the night before something big. If you've been feeling this past week that there is a sentence inside you trying to come up, a sentence you have rehearsed 1,000 times in the bathroom mirror and never said out loud, you are not imagining it. The cosmos is confirming what your body has already been telling you. This moon's job in Scorpio is to bring that sentence to the surface. And I need you to hear this before tomorrow. This is why I had to record this today. Now, please subscribe before we go any further, because what happens in the 72 hours after this full moon matters as much as the moment itself. And I want you to have everything I release in the days that follow. The aftermath of a Scorpio moon is its own teaching. Let me show you what's actually happening in the sky. Tomorrow at 1:23 in the afternoon Eastern, 10:23 in the morning Pacific, 6:23 in the evening in London, the moon reaches 11 degrees and 21 minutes of Scorpio. The sun reaches 11 degrees and 21 minutes of Taurus, exact opposition. And here is the part nobody talks about. At the same moment, Pluto, in the early degrees of Aquarius, is sitting on the lower corner of the chart, forming a fixed T-square with that moon-sun axis. Pluto is the planet that rules Scorpio. Pluto is the dispositor of this full moon, which means whatever Pluto is doing right now in Aquarius is the deeper hand behind tomorrow's lunation. In plain language, the chart suggests something hidden, something structural, something quietly being decided in rooms you do not have access to, is about to become visible from your kitchen table. And here is what stopped me cold when I went to look up the Sabian symbol of that exact degree. The Sabian symbol, for those of you newer to me, is a visual metaphor that the astrologer Marc Edmund Jones recorded in 1925, one for each degree of the zodiac. They are like cosmic emoji. They tell you the texture of a degree. The Sabian symbol for 12 degrees of Scorpio, which is where this moon lands, reads simply, an embassy ball. An embassy ball. Think about what an embassy ball actually is. It is the most public room in the world. Everyone is dressed. Everyone is smiling. Everyone is bowing to the right people. It is the place where loyalties are performed. And it is also the place where you can suddenly see very clearly who is genuinely allied with whom, whose smile reaches their eyes, whose handshake lasts a half-second too long with the wrong person. Marc Edmund Jones gave this symbol the keyword display. Its positive expression, and I want you to hear this, its positive expression is absolute stability of self contributing to group integrity. Its negative expression is smug demands for special privilege. In the sky tomorrow, that is the moon's room. Public, lit, performative. And underneath the music, Pluto, Scorpio's ruler, whispering, "Who is real here?" Now look at the sun sitting opposite at 12 degrees of Taurus. Its Sabian symbol, same source, same canonical 1925, reads, "A young couple walk down Main Street, window shopping. Innocent appetite. Looking at all the lovely things to want, without yet owning any of them. The illusion of choosing, while the choice has actually been conditioned by what is on display. Do you see the polarity? Taurus says, look at all the beautiful things laid out for you. Scorpio says, yes, but who paid the price for the display? And what is being hidden in the back of the shop? This is the most clarifying Tau-Sco axis you will live through this year. Surface against substance. Window dressing against truth. The bow at the embassy ball against the conversation that actually happens after. 40 years of charts has taught me one thing. When those two symbols sit across from each other at a full moon, what gets revealed is never trivial. It is the gap between what you have been shown and what is actually true. In your relationships, in your work, in the public story being sold to your generation right now. And here is the historical layer. In May of 2007, when this exact polarity last activated this hard, the United States was 3.5 months away from the moment the housing bubble began to publicly crack. May 17th of that year is when Bernanke stood up and denied it. The Scorpio full moon was already in the sky, but you don't have to go all the way to 2007. Go back 19 years before that, to May 1st, 1988. Same calendar date, full flower moon in Scorpio. 2 weeks later, the Soviet Union officially began withdrawing from Afghanistan. 3 weeks later, the Reagan-Gorbachev INF Treaty, the Cold War secrets that had been hidden for 40 years, started. That month, that moon, to come out into the open. Documents declassified, walls beginning to soften, truth surfacing. And if you go back yet again to October of 1969, the Vietnam moratorium had just put 1 million Americans into the streets, exposing the gap between the official war narrative and what was actually happening on the ground. The Pentagon Papers were already being assembled. The Scorpio cycle was already at work. I'll be honest with you. When I traced this back through the ephemeris this week, I had to read it twice, because the pattern is consistent. This degree of Scorpio, with Pluto pressing on it from a fixed angle, doesn't predict, it reveals. It does not start the rupture. It removes the curtain that was hiding the rupture. Which brings me, gently, to your life. A woman wrote to me last week. I will call her Yolanda. She is 64. She lives in a small town an hour outside Albuquerque, New Mexico. And in February of this year, after 11 years of being her mother's primary caregiver, her mother passed. Yolanda said in her email, "Luna, I should be grieving. Why am I angry instead?" I pulled up her chart, and what I saw made me sit back in my chair. Yolanda's natal sun sits at 14 degrees of Taurus. Tomorrow's full moon, at 12 degrees of Scorpio, falls almost exactly on her solar opposition. And Pluto in Aquarius is squaring her natal sun the entire spring. In the language of 40 years of charts, she has been quietly under-restructured. The 11 years of caregiving were her Pluto journey, and she gave so much that she lost track of the thread of her own life. And what I told her, what I want to tell you tonight, is that her anger was not a betrayal of her grief. Her anger was the body finally getting permission to feel what it had been told for over a decade was not allowed. The Scorpio moon was not making her angry. It was finally letting her notice she had been angry for years. Her story is not unique. It is the texture of this whole lunation. Wherever you have been performing, at the embassy ball of your own life, and underneath you have been silently paying the price, this moon comes for that gap. Gently if you let it, loudly if you don't. This is the part nobody talks about. So let me give you the 3 messages this full moon is bringing. Personal first, then relational, then the larger civilizational layer. I have been getting the same message from so many of you this week, and the chart explains it. The first message is personal. I'm calling it the embassy of self. Your body, and I mean your actual body, the one reading this on your phone or your TV at home, has been holding a sentence, maybe more than one. The exhaustion you have been carrying, that specific kind of weariness that does not lift even after sleep, is not a failure of self-care. Of course you have been exhausted. Look at what the sky has been asking of you. You have been holding 2 truths at once. What you were allowed to say at the dinner table, and what you already know to be true in your gut when nobody is watching. If you have been waking up at 3 a.m. with one specific sentence repeating, and you cannot quite finish saying it even to yourself, you are not imagining it. The stars are confirming what you have already been sensing. That sentence wants to come up tomorrow. The Scorpio moon is the room with the lights on. You do not have to share it with anyone. But you have to stop pretending to yourself that you do not know it. That is the first message. The second one surprised even me when I traced it through the chart. The second message is relational. And here is where the embassy ball really shows itself. 3 kinds of relationships are getting exposed by this moon. Not destroyed, exposed. There is a difference. The first kind, and you know which one it is even as I say it, is the relationship that performs loyalty without delivering it. The friend, the colleague, the family member who shows up at every birthday, every holiday, every photograph. But who, in the rooms you are not in, votes against you, subtly, quietly, with language that sounds like concern. You have known. The Scorpio moon does not introduce that knowing. It removes the politeness around it. The second kind is the relationship that has been telling you 3/4 of the truth for so long, you stopped noticing the missing quarter. This is the harder one. It is the spouse, the longtime friend, the sibling, the adult child whose story you almost believe, except for the small wrinkle in your stomach when they tell certain parts. The Scorpio moon makes the wrinkle louder, not so you can confront, so you can stop discounting your own perception. And the third kind, and this is where so many of you are right now, is the relationship in which you have been the one performing. You have been smiling at the embassy ball of someone else's life. You have stayed at a table where the food no longer feeds you. The Scorpio moon does not push you to leave that table. It simply turns the lights on, so you can see clearly what is on your plate. If you have been reading a particular text message 3 times, if you have been replaying a specific conversation in your head all week, if a particular dinner left you more tired than fed, that's the chart speaking. The confusion you are feeling has a name. It is not your imagination. It is 12 degrees of Scorpio. And here is the third message, the one that goes beyond your own life. You are living through a moment in which the public story your generation is being sold, the window shop on Taurus Main Street, is structurally diverging from what is actually happening behind the displays. I am not going to make this political because Luna does not do political, but I am going to make it real. Every 19 years, this Tau-Sco axis lights up like this. 1988, 2007, 2026. Each time the same lesson. What gets revealed when this moon turns the lights on is the gap between display and reality. In a country, in a market, in a public narrative, what your body has been telling you about the bigger picture. The slight insanity of watching everyone act like things are normal when your nervous system knows something is being concealed at scale. That too is real. The cosmos is not against you. It is correcting the record. Quietly. Through your body first. This is why you are tired. This is why you are restless at 3 a.m. This is why the news lately feels less like information and more like a costume being adjusted in a fitting room. The chart confirms it. You are not crazy. You are tuned in. Now let me speak to the 3 signs this moon is touching most directly. Even if your sun sign is not one of these 3, please listen, because your rising sign may be one of them, and it is the rising sign that determines how this energy actually enters your specific life. If you are a Scorpio, or if Scorpio is rising for you, this moon is sitting on your first house, the house of body, identity, self-presentation, the mirror moment. You are being seen by yourself first, with no filter. The sentence that wants to come up is about who you have stopped being, not who you want to become. It is closing chapter energy, not initiation. The action. Take a piece of paper tomorrow before bed and write 1 sentence completing the phrase, "I am no longer the woman who." Don't dramatize it, just name it. The naming is the work. If you are a Taurus, or if Taurus is rising, the moon is in your 7th house, the house of one-to-one bonds, marriages, best friendships, business partners. The relational reveal lands here directly. Identify the one relationship that no longer reflects you, not the worst one, the most quietly off one. Do not act on it for 72 hours. Just name it on paper between yourself and the candle. The moon is asking for clarity, not amputation. And if you are an Aquarius, or if Aquarius is rising, the moon is squaring your 10th house, career and reputation, and Pluto is sitting in your 1st house, restructuring you from the inside out. This is the most intense placement of all 3. The professional or public commitment that you have been performing, the role you took on years ago that no longer fits the woman you are now, is the one being asked to come undone. Not tomorrow, over the next 9 months. But tomorrow is the moment you stop pretending you do not know. Even if your sun sign isn't listed, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, check your rising sign. That's the lens through which this energy enters your specific life. And remember, the chart suggests, the energy invites. The choice is always yours. So I have shown you the sky. I have traced the history. I have given you the 3 messages. And the question I get most every full moon is this: Luna, what do I actually do with this? Let me give you something simple, a ritual you can do tomorrow night, with materials you already have in your house. I have been watching women move through Scorpio moons for 40 years. The ones who navigate them best do not do dramatic burnings or expensive crystals or 12-step rituals. They do something quiet, and they do it inwardly. Here's what I want you to do. Tomorrow, somewhere between 1:23 in the afternoon Eastern, when the moon goes exact, and the time you go to bed, find a quiet room where your back is not facing a doorway. Light a candle, plain candle, white or unscented if you have it. Anything will do. Take 1 blank sheet of unlined paper, a black or dark blue pen, not pencil, because pencil can be erased, and the Scorpio moon is asking you not to erase. Write a single letter to one person about one thing you have never said to them. They can be living, they can be past, they can be someone you love, they can be someone you are trying to forgive. Write what you have never said. Do not perform. Do not edit. Write until you feel something release in your chest, a small loosening, a kind of softening that tells you the honest list has been reached. Then, and this is the part most people skip, read it out loud. Once, just to yourself, not to perform it, to let your own ears hear what your hand wrote. The body needs to hear its own truth in its own voice. That is the work. Then fold the paper inward, toward yourself, not away. You are not casting away what you are releasing. You are completing it. In the morning, burn the letter in a safe vessel, or bury it in soil, but do not under any circumstance send it. Do not photograph it. Do not screenshot it. The letter is not for the other person. The letter is for you. And say out loud before you go to bed, "What I have known, I now allow myself to know. What is over does not need my permission to end. I do not have to lie to be loved." Say it 3 times. Once for the woman you have been, once for the woman you are, once for the woman you are becoming. 3 things to avoid in the next 48 hours. After 40 years of watching Scorpio moons, here is what I have seen people get wrong. First, do not initiate confrontations on May 1st or May 2nd. The Scorpio moon amplifies. What you say in that window will land 7 times louder than you mean it. Wait until at least May 4th before having any real conversation with the person the letter is to. By then the energy has settled, and you can speak from clarity, not from the storm. Second, do not consume excessive alcohol or sedatives. Your body is bringing something up that it has been holding for a long time. Please let it. Numbing it now means it will come back through a side door 3 months from now, and that side door is always more painful than the front door. And third, do not make irreversible decisions in the 72 hours. No quitting, no leaving, no signing. The chart suggests revelation, not action. Action belongs to next week. Let me answer the questions I hear most in my comments. What if my rising sign isn't one of the 3? You will still feel this moon in the house it activates in your chart. Pull up your free chart on astro.com if you do not know your rising. The energy still reaches you, just through a different door. How long does this energy last? The moon is exact tomorrow. The window of revelation runs through May 4th. The integration period is the full Mercury cycle through Taurus, ending mid-May. So you have about 2 weeks of soft work ahead, with one sharp opening tomorrow. What if I do not feel anything? Then the work for you is to be still. Not everyone receives a Scorpio moon as a thunderclap. Some receive it as a slow exhale. If you feel quiet, the quiet is the message. Trust that. And what if I am skeptical? Can I still do the ritual? Especially yes. The Scorpio moon does not require belief. It requires honesty. The letter still works. The body still hears. You are not lighting the candle for the cosmos. You are lighting it for the part of you that has been waiting for permission to know what it knows. So, let me bring this home. We started with an embassy ball. We traced the polarity from 12 degrees of Taurus to 12 degrees of Scorpio. We walked through May of 2007 and May of 1988 and the autumn of 1969 and saw the same lesson 3 times. This axis, when it lights up like this, removes the curtain. We named the 3 messages. We named the 3 relationships getting exposed. We named the 3 signs most directly touched. And we ended with 1 quiet letter, 1 small candle, 1 sentence said 3 times. I want you to hear something before I go. You are not broken. You have not done this wrong. The exhaustion you have carried, the silences you have held, the version of yourself you have outgrown but kept performing, none of it was wasted. Every chart I have read this month shows the same pattern, and I will tell you what the pattern is. The women who arrive at this moon ready are the women who have already done the inner work without knowing they were doing it. You did not need a class. You did not need a guru. You needed exactly the life that you have lived. The universe doesn't make mistakes. This timing is deliberate. The Scorpio moon is not against you. The cosmos is not against you. It never has been. It has been preparing this room for you for years. And tomorrow, at 1:23 in the afternoon, the lights come up. So I want you to leave me a comment, not a generic one, a specific one. Tell me, which of the 3 messages landed most powerfully for you? The personal one, the sentence in your body, the relational one, the embassy ball of your closest people, or the larger one, the gap between the public story and what you actually know is happening. Tell me which one. I read every word. I read every comment every week in the first 6 hours after I post. And what you share guides what I explore next. You are not imagining this. The stars confirm what you have already been sensing. And what is over does not need your permission to end. Until next time, keep looking up. This is Luna Solano. One more thing, and then I will let you go. After 40 years of Scorpio moons, here is the secret that does not fit in any blog post. The people who fear this moon fear it because they think it is going to take something from them. It is not. It does not have hands. It cannot reach into your life and remove anything. What the Scorpio moon does, when it lands on a degree like this one, with Pluto whispering underneath, is far gentler than fear suggests. It removes the small fictions that you have been spending energy maintaining. And the moment those small fictions go, you discover how much energy you actually have. That is what you will feel 3 days from tomorrow. Not loss, not rupture, A strange, almost embarrassing lightness. The relief of stopping a performance you didn't realize you were running. That is the gift of this moon. That is what 1988 gave the people who were paying attention. That is what 2007 gave the ones who listened to their gut before the headlines caught up. That is what tomorrow is going to give you, if you let it. Sleep well tonight, and tomorrow, leave the candle a little extra time to burn. You are not broken. You are becoming.